In this video, I install a keel guard made by Megaware.
Hi, I'm Dale, and this is Dale of All Trades. I'm constantly finding myself having to repair something, install something, or find out the hard way that something just isn't worth the money. So I figured I'd take you along for the ride, and hoping along the way to inspire you to try your hand at some repairs yourself. You can expect to see repairs, reviews, how-tos, and anything in between. A special thanks to anyone who has already subscribed. Please consider subscribing. The more the merrier in this journey. So let's figure out what's going on now and get to it.
Welcome back, everybody. In this video, I am going to install this Megaware keel guard. Now, it's a pretty straightforward process, but immediate disclaimer, it's really hard to shoot stuff when you're crawling around underneath and get the proper camera angles, so I apologize. I feel like I've been apologizing in my last couple videos for camera angles. I really am sorry about that. Parts of the installation process are tedious and can get a little frustrating, as you'll see in the video. But all in all, I think this product is a pretty good choice. Alright, without rambling on too much, let's see the unboxing and then the install. This is what you'll receive when you order it. This is how it'll be packaged. Some nice little push pins. You don't have to tear the package apart in anger with a knife. Easy to follow instructions. Here's the keel guard itself. Put that off to the side. Comes with a Brillo pad for the sanding. Gloves to keep your fingers safe. Nice little advertisement sticker for them. And the adhesion promoter, or also known as primer. That's what the glove's for. And an applicating spatula, that's what I'm going to call it. And some more detailed instructions. I'm not going to go through the instructions on here because if you decide to order this, you will get the same instructions and you can go through them on your own. Another thing I'm doing is rolling it out prior to installation in the sunniest spot I can find to help heat up that glue on the back side of the keel guard. It'll make it more pliable and more tacky. And more better. The first step is getting the boat lifted away from any support points that are going to hinder you from sanding or installing the keel guard. Now, I have a little trick I'm going to do for this boat, but it might not work for everybody else's application.
I really don't recommend doing it this way. It is dangerous. I was in a pinch and this is the best I could do. It turned out working, but it could seriously get you injured, so don't do it this way.
Don't try this at home. There is no pressure on that jack right now. I just have it left. Just enough to keep these boards snug so I don't have to reset it when I'm done. Almost all of the weight is on this block. Now I will have room to sand and install the keel guard. The next step is doing a dry fit. So what you want to do is tape the keel guard where you're going to have it without taking any of the adhesive off. Mark it out with tape as tight as you can and then mark it for where you're going to sand.
There's a few things to note here in this scene. I ended up just marking out roughly where the keel guard was going to go and ultimately decided to just get rid of the markings altogether. Now, I have a white boat, so I can get away with this a little bit more than if it was a black boat or a red boat because you're scuffing off the top layers of the paint or gel coat. So if you're scuffing white, it's just going to look dulled down a little bit, where if it's a solid color, it could hurt you in the long run.
Well, that's not working, so
different plan of attack, I guess.
Another thing to add, the rubbing alcohol is not included in the kit. So you're gonna have to supply that on your own. Knowing that beforehand is a plus. You're gonna find that a lot of the material that you sanded with the Scotch-Brite is going to come off on the rag. So what I'm gonna do is flip the rag over to another clean side, reapply it, and wipe it down one more time just to be sure. I feel that paid off because a lot less is on this rag now. Another thing to add, I feel like it's obvious, but maybe I should say it. Once you're done sanding, remove the tape, then clean with this rag. Alright, I just referred to the instructions. This stuff dries almost instantly, and you need to keep this adhesion promoter pad folded at all times to keep it from drying. I have a feeling I gotta move fast, so let's get this done. I have it pre-ripped open. Wear your glove, and it says to get it everywhere that the keel guard is going to touch. Boy, you really do have to work fast with this. It was drying on me so fast I ended up having to fold it back open on top of itself, and that did get me more, and I'm feeling that there's more in here, so I'm just gonna keep rubbing until this thing is useless. Okay, now the fun part, putting the actual keel guard on. Now they have this scored in 3 sections, this section being almost perfectly an inch to help center it on the keel. So what you want to do is find the end you're going to start with, peel back the beginning layer about like that, and then start adhesing it on. And it tells me in the instructions to work in 2 to 3 feet sections. So apply it 2 feet down, push it firmly down with the tool provided. I'm going to go an extra step and kind of pound on it with a rubber maul. And then every 2 to 3 feet, it wants you to peel these back and make that adhered down as well. Another good side note, do not touch the adhesive with your hands or you will compromise the bond. All right, let's get this thing on. Unfortunately, my unreliable batteries died at some point during installation of that keel guard. In case you didn't catch it, that adhesive is damn good stuff. Holy man. I have no doubts that that's going to stay stuck on there for a long time. Permanently, probably. It does say in the instructions that the adhesive, the adhesion, the glue is permanent. And if it ever does come off, it is going to leave the backing behind. So keep that in mind. This is permanent. It's not something that's going to be easy to take off. I'm going to crawl under there with the camera and try to show you the best I can. That about wraps this video up. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope it helps somebody out. There are multiple videos of this install that are probably a little more in depth than mine, but I still thought it would be cool sharing my experience with the install, and I will update with anything else that happens to this, if it starts peeling off on a corner, if it falls off altogether, so on and so on. If you don't see an update video on it, that means it hasn't happened. They offer this keel guard in multiple colors and multiple lengths. I will leave a link in a few spots that you can find the keel guard at. You can find it on eBay, which is where I bought mine. You can also find it on the Megaware website, or I believe Amazon. I will leave the links in the description. I will also leave a general overview of what you are going to need to install it, most of which is included in the kit. I did have my reservations about this, whether it was going to stick or not, because I've had some pretty poor luck with double-sided adhesive. But after installing this thing, as soon as I stuck it to the hull, once I properly cleaned, sanded, and put the adhesive promoter onto the hull, once I applied it, I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. This is a solid product, I can tell. And it better be for the money you have to pay for it. But the nice thing is now is if you have a slightly scarred up hull like I did from multiple beachings, or you just want to all around protect the hull, this thing is going to do it. They advertise that you can beach this thing right on blacktop, right on the cement boat launch, and trust me, I'm going to test it out. Well, I think that about covers it. Any comments you have, leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.